guys, welcome back. So my lighting is like a little crappy in this video in my opinion. So if you guys have any lighting suggestions, please let me know. I just have like a tiny setup, but I have two softbox lights and a ring light. Let me know what I should do. Should I get a reflector? I think that's my problem. I think I need a reflector because I feel like I look very cool, but my background doesn't even look white. I feel like sometimes when I edit it looks a little cool, blue, gray, whatever. Anyways, so today I want to film another Halloween video, and this one is actually really cool because I'm actually a dental assistant. For most of you that do not know, I am a full-time dental assistant, certified, all that good stuff. I do work Monday through Friday in a dentist's office, hand in hand with a crap ton of doctors, like every specialist you can think of: oral surgery, perio, endo, ortho, general, anything. So I thought it would be like a really cool and fun idea to do an evil tooth fairy. I've seen a lot of people's videos, like literally like their whole face is like covered in teeth, and I don't want to do that. I still kind of want to keep it like cute, but like I just want to make it a little bit like what's the word I'm looking for? I don't really know what the word I'm looking for is, but like, you know, fiending for teeth. Like she needs to take your teeth. So I don't really know how this is going to turn out. I have an idea in mind, but I don't know how it's going to turn out. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. This is going to be a voiceover just because I don't really know what I'm doing per se, so I just kind of want to get in the zone and not have to like explain things while we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget to check the description box down below for everything that I used in today's video. Don't forget to follow me on all of my other forms of social media: Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. I will link them down below and somewhere here in the screen. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and that's it. I have no more other commands to ask you for. Let's go ahead and get started. Hi guys, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So I'm starting off by covering my eyebrows. First things first, I suck at doing this. I'm sorry. Please go watch someone else that knows how to cover brows correctly. My eyebrow hairs are so thick and coarse, and they're so dark that like it's such a struggle for me to do this. So I'm just throwing a thin layer of glue down first, washable glue. That is washable glue. Make sure it's washable. Then I'm going to comb them upwards, making sure that they're really flat against my skin. I'm going to go in with one more layer of glue, really make sure the glue dries, and then we're going to go ahead and set it with some powder. Use whatever powder you like. I'm just using the translucent Maybelline Fit Me powder. Once we add a thin layer of powder, I'm going in with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer to prime my lids, and then I'm also going to drag this up on top of my brows so we can get rid of the darkness and try to minimize the color that you guys still see because of my brow hairs. To do that, I'm actually grabbing my Shape Tape just because it's a little bit more of a creamier concealer. The Too Faced Born This Way is a little bit more liquidy in my opinion, so I'm grabbing my Shape Tape, and it has a little bit better coverage, I'm not gonna lie, and we're going to just throw that onto my brows, make sure we're covering them. And then once I do this, I thought they looked pretty good, but I did want to go in with one more coat of concealer on my brows, so I did go in with another layer after I did set it with powder, and then pretty much just repeat the same steps until you get your brows covered. I know a lot of people go in with like a orange concealer or like a peachy concealer to counteract, but that always goes south for me, so I just put on a crap ton of concealer and I think it worked after this, so win-win, right? Moving on to the eyes, I'm actually using the Anastasia Lip Palette, and what I'm doing is pretty much going in with the black and the red. To be completely honest, while doing this, I did regret putting the black down first. I thought the black was just going to make it a little bit more darker, but it actually turned the red, once I put the red on top, which you'll see right now, it actually felt a little bit purple to me, and although I wasn't really going for a purple look, and the look did still turn out alright, I really did want to go with more of like a red, like bruised, but like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, like bloody type of eye, but not necessarily bloody, just like really red and like pink and just like irritated. That's the word I'm looking for, irritated. But the purple did work out once I did go on top of the cream colors, pretty much the lipsticks. I went on top of it with the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries palette. They have a few pinkish reds in there, and then I also used Enigma from the Mel Cosmetics Dark Matter stack. Before we move to the face, I'm just going in with this black eyeshadow. This is from the Dark Matter stack by Mel Cosmetics. This is in the shade Dark Matter. I'm going in with this shade on my lid to pretty much make sure my whole entire lid is set, since we did use those cream lipsticks as a base. And don't worry, the Anastasia lip palette is safe to use on the eyes. Just be a little bit careful, be a little bit hesitant. Okay. I'm just blending everything out into the crease, making sure I'm not getting rid of the red altogether, but also making it seem like our eyes have a little bit more definition. So that's why I'm adding a little bit more of the black. Going in with the face, I'm priming it with my Too Faced Hangover RX primer, throwing that all over my face. And for a foundation, I went in with the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth foundation, and because I didn't have a foundation that was super pale like I wanted, I went in with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in Swan, which is the lightest shade in the range, and I mixed that in. I also do go in with my white face paint afterwards, but this is just a nice base, and plus I didn't want the face paint to be directly on top of my face, so at least I have some foundation in the mix. You know what I'm saying? I am grabbing the same Too Faced Born This Way concealer in Swan and just using it as my actual concealer now, and this actually really helps lighten up the face. You can keep it this way if you want, if you still want to look like your color, but I did go ahead and add white face paint to the center of my face to really highlight it, and because we are going to go in with darker contour colors later on. Just make sure if you do this and you're adding the face paint on top of the foundation, especially if it's water activated, make sure you're not using a lot of water when you blend it out, just because the water will mix in with the foundation and you'll have a little bit of a hot mess. Trust me. I'm going in with a Maybelline sponge and just further blending out the white face paint into the face, and then I went ahead and set it clearly off camera because there's no footage here, and we're going straight to brows. So here's the thing. When I was actually filming this video, I actually had no intention of like putting brows on, but once I had the eyes done, or almost done, I felt that I needed brows. So technically you don't really have to cover up your brows in the beginning, because what I did was pretty much just made my brows over my natural eyebrows just a little bit more bushier and thicker. I did make the arch a little bit more of a straight arch, which is pretty much all I did different, but go ahead and use your own natural eyebrows. You don't have to cover it up if you're not a pro at covering up your eyebrows. I did use the Kat Von D Super Brow Pomade to fill in my brows. I believe the shade is Walnut, and now I'm just going in with that same white face paint to further highlight and add a little bit more dimension in the brow. To contour, we are going to suck in those cheeks and use the Kat Von D Shade Like Contour Palette. I love this palette when I want more of an ashy contour, and an ashy contour is really good when you want to do Halloween looks. It's really going to make you look hollow, and it's going to really give you the definition that you want. So I'm pretty much hollowing out my cheeks really intensely, and now I'm going in with this blush. I didn't want my face to look washed out. I still wanted some sort of color in there, so I'm going in with that berry toned blush color and just throwing that a little bit on the cheekbone, but more on top of the contour shade. And then we are just going to blend everything together on the face, and we're going to go ahead and finish up the eyes. For the lower lash line, we're pretty much doing the exact same thing. I'm going in with Enigma and Dark Matter from the Mel Cosmetics stack, and I'm going in on my lower lash line and really building up the lower lash line, making it really dark and intense and smoky. And once we do the lower lash line, I'm actually grabbing more of the two shadows mixed on the brush, and we're going to go in and kind of create more of like a dark circle effect. I wanted her to look really sunken in and kind of make it look like she hasn't really had any teeth. So I wanted to look like that she's fiending for teeth. So I'm just making her a little bit dirty, a little bit kind of like a bruised effect, if you will. Like, you know, she just needs teeth in order to look more presentable. Moving on to the mouth, I am going in with a little bit of red liquid lipstick. I believe this one is from ColourPop. I messily threw this on and I kind of was going for something else in my head, but then once I realized that I didn't like this, I wanted to cover it up. And then I got lipstick on my teeth. So I did add a little bit of red face paint over it. I wasn't really a fan of this, so what I did was I ended up taking some liquid latex. This one is from Mehron, and I just kind of made it look like my smile was extended. So I wanted her to actually have a bigger mouth because she is a tooth fairy, so I wanted her to kind of collect the teeth and have her put it in her mouth, kind of because like she doesn't have any teeth. So once you kind of have your bigger mouth mapped out, you're going to want to grab a tissue and you're going to want to rip it apart. It is a 2-ply or a 3-ply tissue, whatever it is. Just rip it apart so you just have like a really thin piece of tissue in your hand. Rip it up and you're just going to attach it all to the liquid latex that you laid down. You can kind of roll up the tissue, give it a little bit more texture, a little bit more bumpiness. And I do this 2 or 3 times. I do it this time. I add a little bit more liquid latex and then I go in with another layer of tissues just to have a little bit more texture, like a bigger mouth. You know what I'm saying? Just do it however many times you want to do it until you want to get the effect. And what I'm going to do is let it dry, and then we're actually going to cut it so we can open, so it can make it look like the mouth is open. So once I did that, I let it dry a little bit more, added a little bit more powder in areas where it was taking a little bit more to dry. And now I'm just going in with my foundation color and throwing it right on top of where we added the tissue. Now we're going in with a mix of black and red face paint from my Mehron Paradise Face Paint palette, and I'm just filling in this whole area. I wanted it to make it look like her mouth was big, so like our lips are technically going to act like our gums. I wanted her to have like no teeth, and that's why she wants to steal everyone's teeth, because she wants to put them in her mouth as her own, because she doesn't have any. That's what I was going for, so I'm just filling in that area. This part is super tedious just because I'm adding a few teeth inside of the mouth. I did actually think that the liquid latex, once it started to dry, would be a little tacky enough to like adhere the fake teeth, but it wasn't. So this step actually took me a little bit, but once I got the hang of it, I actually just took my eyelash glue and just, you know, let my eyelash glue dry on my face for a little bit, and then the teeth stayed fine. The liquid latex did help a little bit, but the eyelash glue was way better, so I definitely just recommend using an adhesive or anything like that. And then I just went in with this Ben Nye Scab blood that I got off of Amazon. It's really cool, and it's crazy how much it looks like real blood. Like, it's crazy. So I was just smearing that scab blood pretty much all over the open mouth part, and then I actually took regular blood gel, which is a little bit thinner. It's not as thick and like stuck together as the scab blood. I kind of dripped it and made it look like blood clots. I'm sorry if you guys like have a weak stomach, but I thought this was pretty freaking cool. So what I did was I just took a pink and a berry toned blush and just went around the mouth area to make it look more irritated, because obviously her mouth is bleeding. You could totally leave it at the face, but I wanted to bring it down to my neck a little bit, so what I did was I just painted my neck and my chest the white face paint color. I didn't go too crazy with this because my face isn't stark white, so I just added a thin layer of the white face paint to my neck and chest. And then what I did was I went in with the Dose of Colors Blushing Berries palette. I took a really big fluffy brush and I just started going ham with that to add a little bit more of like a bruising and a more irritated effect, and I actually thought it worked out pretty well. So once I did that, I did dilute my red face paint with a crap ton of water. So you just want to get your brush really saturated with a lot of red paint, and then go in to a cup of water, whatever you have. You want to go in with a lot of water, saturate that brush with a lot of water, and then go ahead and push onto your neck, and the drips will appear.
You'll notice that if you use a lot more water in certain drips that it kind of starts to look like it's spreading. So just be a little bit careful with how much water you look because you don't want it to look like it's spreading, kind of like that first drip that I did. Once I realized that, I did actually add a little bit more of black and red mixed together to make it look a little bit darker, have some like more fresh blood, have a little bit more of like an older blood. I'm obsessed with this dripping neck like technique. I want to put it on like all of my Halloween looks. And then for the hair, I guess you could pretty much do whatever you want. I decided to go with pigtails. My hair was curly, and I was not curling my hair again after I had all of this on my face and neck. So I just added a crap ton of volumizing texturizing spray. The one I used is actually from Bumble and Bumble. It's one of their new products, and I actually do really like it. And I just kind of threw this in my hair for a lot more texture. I wanted her to look like frayed and like really crazy looking, and her hair all crazy and like, you know, staticky. So that's what I was going for. I had this pair of wings hidden under my bed because I actually made my dog a tooth fairy last year for Halloween. So these are actually kids' wings, and I just splattered some blood on them, and that's pretty much it. This evil tooth fairy is complete.
Okay guys, so that completes this evil tooth fairy look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Don't worry, I won't come and pull out your teeth tonight while you're sleeping. Or maybe I should. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys on my next video.